like we have Revolver starting the game on offense, Chain on defense, Jolien Dahl holding the disc set to pull, Revolver offensive line. Jackson, who we got out there?
Revolver, we have Devin Anderson, Cassidy Rasmussen, Bo Kittredge, Robbie Cahill, Mark Schlag, Ashlyn Joy, and Jordan Jeffries. First-year player on the team, Jordan Jeffries.
Pull comes, catches a bit of wind, and goes out of bounds. Robbie Cahill going to take that one to the brick. Robbie Cahill being marked by Andrew Hollingsworth.
I like the matchup of Jolien Dahl on Bo Kittredge, two former Colorado alumni.
Dahl and Kittredge played with each other in 2007 in college when Mama Bird made it to the college national finals.
They also played together on Bravo.
For a number of years.
Made it to finals. I believe that was 2007.
That was 2007 also.
Cassidy Rasmussen, nice grab.
Joy, Cahill.
Joy playing offense this year for Revolver. Last year he played a lot of D.
Kittredge on the sideline. Great upline defense from Andrew Hollingsworth.
It's the D on Robbie Cahill. Right away.
David Berendez calling the foul on Jordan Jeffries. Jolien Dahl goes for the huck immediately.
Jeffries arguing that it was uncatchable, that it was riding the wind and he wasn't going to be able to close down on it. It did appear like that. There was a lot of contact though, and generally when a player falls down and doesn't even get a chance to play, to make a play on the disc, usually the foul is upheld on a play like that.
At this tournament, though, we don't see any observers, so we have to go the good old-fashioned way. Jordan Jeffries and Berendez talking it out. Jeffries convinced Berendez, no foul called. Revolver offense gets the disc back.
Revolver in a side stack. Not really a side stack, kind of a horizontal side stack.
Jeffries on the sideline. To Joy. And Joy leading.
Jolien Dahl with the D on Bo Kittredge.
Second D going up this flick sideline.
Joy just puts it up. Doesn't put it high enough. And Dahl goes up and D's it. His former next-gen player Nikki Spiva on the sideline. Swings it over to Dahl.
And another deep look. Miscommunication as Spiva wasn't expecting it, but Spiva making the play.
Catches that deep over the Revolver defender. It's over Cassidy Rasmussen and Robbie Cahill.
And
that's Spiva's game right there. Playing good D, they huck it to him, he goes up and skies a pack of people.
Chain Lightning starts the game off with a break. 2 Ds, 2 hucks, both coming from Jolien Dahl. Chain Lightning, as most people are starting to find out, not afraid to throw the ball deep.
Not at all. Seems like their game plan is get the disc with a little bit of movement upfield and then just jack it. They have a lot of big, tall receivers. Like to make big athletic plays.
Revolver offensive line doesn't change their personnel. D-line for Chain.
We've got Conger, Lou, Frank Wooten, Michael Aronson, Jason Simpson, Russell Snow, and Andrew Hollingsworth. Wooten to pull for Chain.
Frank Wooten on the D-line, but his brother Joel Wooten is missing this tournament. Joe Wooten.
Out of Georgia.
Big veteran on the team. We see a junk look coming from Chain. Bo Kittredge sitting back in the handler position, moving this Kittredge and Schlag. And Schlag trying to go around. Russell Snow gets a D. Short field turn for Chain.
Aronson moves it to Simpson. Back to Conger. Over to Simpson. Inside out flick. Robbie Cahill has a little contact, but that's Andrew Hollingsworth. Excuse me, that's Michael Spear with the goal.
Chain Lightning, impressive play so far at the beginning of the game. They're coming off of a win versus Rhino in the first round. They took that game 15-9. Revolver, a little slow to start off. They were playing Philadelphia Southpaw.
It was tied at 11s.
Maybe, I think 12s. We came in as 12-12. Revolver cleaned up at the end, but still a close game, not something that you'd expect from this kind of a caliber team.
It's true. I think a big loss for Revolver this year is Bart Watson. He, of course, retired after Revolver won Worlds in Japan just 2 months ago. It's been a focal point of their offense for the last 3 years. First or second cut puts it to Kittredge a lot. Wonder how much of an impact losing a player like Watson will have on Revolver this year. Dahl set to pull for Chain.
Still no change in the offensive line from Revolver.
That pull is sailing out of bounds.
Rasmussen now to center the disc on the brick. He has Cahill and Schlag as his handlers on the side. Horizontal stack.
Joy and Kittredge in the middle. Right away, they throw the disc deep to Ashlyn Joy. He goes up with 2 hands and skies Matt Bailey, a rookie on the team, on Chain's team this year out of Georgia.
Revolver had deep look for that entire play. They set up Joy and Kittredge in the middle of the field, brought their other cutters to the sideline. They were just seeing who was going to have the steps on the deep look. Joy took off deep. Good throw from Cassie to Rasmussen. And just like that, they get a quick point, bring the game within 1.
Nice to get their O-line off the field finally. Those players playing 3 points in a row. It didn't look like they wanted to work too much on that one. Just one throw, get the goal. See if their defense can get some breaks back. Right now for Chain's offense, on the line we have Runner, Jay Clark, Greg Swanson, Jared Inselman, Dylan Tennell, Asa Wilson, and Mark Poole. Would not be surprised to see Dylan Tennell get the disc in the middle of the field. And jacket right away to Asa Wilson. The sun's finally poking through here in Santa Cruz, warming things up a bit.
Sam Canner with the pull. Sam Canner and Russell Wynn were missing during the Next Gen versus Revolver game. They're back here. Mainstays on the D-line. And Asa Wilson, he goes deep to Jay Clark. Jay Clark getting past everyone, gets the goal. Jay Clark, first-year player on chain, coming from Georgia Tech. Him and Nick Lance are the two guys who are leading Georgia Tech to nationals this year.
First time Georgia Tech's been to nationals in a long time. That offensive point for Chain looked really simple. 2 or 3 passes right up the field, and then Asa finds Jay Clark, no problem. It's very similar to the offense that they had against Rhino. The little bit of that game that we got to watch, it seemed that Chain was moving the disc very easily up the field. We're not challenged much, still throwing it deep. We see more of the same in that point from Chain as they take the lead 3-1. D-line for Chain: Wooten, Spear, Liu, Snow, Aronson, Simpson, and Tyler Conger is off to the left of your screen. There he is. O-line for Revolver: Rasmussen, Schlag, Anderson, Kittredge, Joy, Jeffries, and Adam Simon.
This lands in. Hit Schlag in the hands. He's going to take it 10 yards
Pinned
deep.
back. Oh, this is big pressure.
Ashlyn Joy returning the favor, sending a deep look to Cassidy Rasmussen. And Rasmussen, inside out break.
Pretty impressive there from Revolver's O-line. They didn't show that they were feeling much pressure as they had the disc on the back end zone line, pinned deep in their end zone. Kittredge finds Joy. Joy hucks a forehand to Rasmussen. Rasmussen breaks inside. And Revolver scores their second point of the game.
On Revolver's D-line getting set up, we see the return of McPherson Taylor. Mac Taylor was missing from ECC. He had a knee injury coming out of Worlds. We didn't see him in San Francisco for the Next Gen Revolver game. But now back on the field, you should expect to see him be a big player in the air and then stay back as the handler, be in control of the disc for the Revolver's offensive line on the turn.
Taylor is a very versatile player. He can guard handlers, cutters, he can handle, he can cut. Really does a lot of things for this Revolver D-line. Here he is set to pull.
Only the second offensive point for Chain in this game. High floaty pull, gonna land just outside the sidelines.
That pull also goes out of bounds.
Dylan Tennell centers it at the brick. Around to Enzelman. Continues upfield to Poole. Inselman centers to Clark. Tennell. Poole.
Pit called as we see Tom James stumbling across the screen.
Disc gets tapped in, and Poole going for the around. Disc hitting the ground before it can find Asa Wilson.
Lazy throw there from Poole. Doesn't really step out too much, just flips the forehand around. Wilson acts for the job, doesn't quite get it done. It's Revolver's disc.
Revolver defense, first opportunity to get a break back, and Mac Taylor picking up the disc. Casino, James.
Foul on the throw. No contest coming in on 0. Tom James also wasn't playing in the next gen game that Revolver lost to next gen. Player out of Stanford.
Casino keeping the disc alive. Gets it upfield. And Casino going deep. Looking for Jonathan Levy.
Jared Inselman gets up and D's that. It's his first year on the chain squad.
Inselman a transfer from Raleigh's Ring of Fire. He played with some of the Chain Lightning people though at the Beach Worlds Championship. Now he gets to be on the grass here in Labor Day. And Chain offense with another chance to score. Pick called. Greg Swanson with the disc on this cone. And Swanson going deep immediately to Jay Clark. Jay Clark, good position. The wind pushing that disc down fast.
Looks like he just dropped that. Got 2 hands on it, it was right in his breadbasket and just couldn't bring it in. Now Revolver with the chance to break. Poole, intentional Mac, tried to mag it for a Callahan, and Clark right away taps it in and dishes to Asa Wilson. Chain scores, pushes their lead back to 2. Revolver got the disc twice that point. Weren't able to convert on the breaks. Here Jay Clark goes up 2 hands, just doinks it. However, a little miscommunication from Revolver.
On that Mac disc, I'm kind of unclear of the rules. Would he have been allowed to catch that?
I don't believe so. I believe intentional Macs are not accepted.
It would be a violation.
Would it be a violation? I don't think so. I don't know. We're at a loss for words. We're uncertain about if a defensive player intentionally maxes into the end zone and then catches it, would that be considered a Callahan? I know certainly that if an offensive player does that, then it's a violation.
All right. Any of you fact checkers out there, if you could
go ahead and post it on our Facebook so you can let us know.
Let us know, because I've never actually seen an intentional Mac attempt.
On the line for Chain, we have Hollingsworth, Simpson, Berendez, Spiva, Dahl, Erickson, and Bailey. Pull from Simpson, outside in. Blade, Schlag takes it down Finds Cahill. Cahill's throw doesn't quite get there. Chain looking for their third break of the game.
Berendez just outside his end zone. Able to break it to Julian Dahl, but Bo Kittredge calling the pick.
Looks like he might have rolled his ankle a little bit on that play. No injury sub necessary, however. Spiva comes back and rescues Berendez.
And Matt Bailey goes for the around backhand, finds Jason Simpson, lays out just over the goal line. Another break for Chain.
It looked like Revolver switched the force on that. They were forcing towards the sideline that the disc was on, and then once the disc came off the sideline, Schlag put on a backhand mark.
You might be getting confused of the lefty thrower.
I might be getting confused of the lefty thrower.
Classic
That's
mistake.
True. No, he did put on a backhand mark because Bailey broke around with the lefty backhand, which would have been a flick for a right-handed player. Anyways, Chain breaks, third break of the game. They take the lead 5-2. What do you need to change up here if you're Revolver? What isn't working? Seems like they're just having some drops.
It seems to be execution. I mean, the throws.
It's not
Chain
really
in the first point, Chain got 2 great Ds down the sideline, granted. But since then, we've just seen missed throws from Revolver. That last turn was nothing but Robbie Cahill kind of missing his receiver.
Yeah, just his throw came up just a little short. Tyler Conger with the pull.
And we have a junk look as there's a slight breeze up here. Revolver working it upwind now. Joy with the disc. To Cahill. All the way around to Jeffries. So they break through the cup. They're moving downfield.
Moving the disc quickly.
Rasmussen. Joy just outside the goal line.
Russell Snow almost with the D. 2 flying bodies from Chain. Revolver sneaks away with the goal.
Nice possession-oriented
Russell
offense.
Snow close on that one. And then Byron Liu, full extension. Kittredge is all smiles.
Revolver getting the offensive point after patiently working it downfield. I think the zone actually kind of helps an offense reel it in. They know that they're going to have to throw a lot of passes that are on point, and they make the adjustment. Still down 3 breaks, though. Down 2 points in this game.
Two nice D attempts. Chain is close. Very close. That either of those plays could have resulted in a D, then another break, and then Chain's down, or Chain would be up on Revolver 6-2.
(5-3) though. We see Russell Wynn set the pull.
Win back from an injury. He also wasn't playing in the next gen game.
Russell Wynn from UC Santa Cruz played with Cassidy Rasmussen.
Low pull.
Inselman wide open on the sideline. Continues upfield to Tennell, and Tennell leading mark Poole, but Poole can't catch up. Tennell, very strong thrower. Not enough touch on that one as it overthrows Poole. We see Adam Simon picking up the disc. Simon was playing a lot of offense in the past year, last year with Revolver, at Worlds with Revolver. Now we see him on the defensive line. It's always nice to have one of those very solid handlers on your D-line to run the disc.
Inselman close to D'ing that one. Now Taylor Leahy. This should be fun.
Sam Cantor getting the disc on the sideline, turning around and throwing almost without looking it.
Really just put it out to space. Swanson brings it to the line. Wind poaching out in the lane. Big fake.
Asa Wilson on the sideline.
And Zach Travis.
Zach Travis was well out of position when that throw came off, maybe 15 yards back, and Asa Wilson signaling he lost that disc in the sun. You can see him put his hand up and just unable to make a strong bid at it.
Travis was tracking it the whole way.
Great save from Zach Travis. First-year player on Revolver from Cal.
Now Simon walks it to the line again. Revolver still looking for that first break. Leahy wide open up the sidelines. To Win still on the sideline. They're working it across the field. Seeing a lot of throw and go here from Revolver.
Cantor with the disc.
That time holsters the flick. Swings it across to Simon. Pat Bayless gives up a couple inches to Jay Clark. Jay Clark known for ruling the air. Bayless goes up strong and snatches that one.
And the first break of the game for Revolver.
That's big.
Cut the lead to 1, still down 2 breaks. But very important for just getting the momentum back on their side. It's always tough if you're in a game and your defense just hasn't generated a break yet. It can really affect the mental game on your team, and we'll see how the momentum is shifting.
Seems to be with Revolver, shifting towards Revolver right now.
A big play on defense to earn the disc, and then a big play for the score.
Pretty fortunate for Revolver that sun started coming out. Wilson was open by 10 yards. Probably would have gone up and caught the disc 2 or 3 feet higher than what Travis D'd it at. Casino with the pull. Robert Runner. Looks like a strip.
discussion on the field. Greg Swanson definitely had the disc. Taylor Casino doesn't think he did. This
Certainly looked like it from that replay. It was a little rocky, but from our vantage point, definitely looked like Swanson had it.
Poole with the disc on the sideline. Swanson.
High release break to Dahl.
Dahl on an offensive point.
And Revolver generates another D.
A lot of pressure on that dump. Kittredge being marked by Dahl. And Taylor finding Bo Kittredge in the end zone. Mark Poole, good poach off his defender. And Revolver ties this game at 5s.
Momentum definitely with Revolver now. They get 2 breaks, generate 2 Ds. You can tell Chain's just kind of feeling the wind a little bit, getting a little more sloppy. They're not quite as crisp as they were earlier in this game.
Let's give a lot of credit to the dump defense from Revolver in that point. They're really making it difficult.
Suffocating.
Getting trapped on the sideline. Chain doesn't have very many options. And Revolver, the first time they've had this game even since the beginning. Still down a break. Defensive line, though, fired up, finding their legs in the second game.
Yeah, Revolver's defense really trapped Chain on that sideline. They could not get it across the field, couldn't create space, just trying to jam it up this sideline. Julian Dahl forced to be creative as nothing was wide open there. Revolver gets the D, and Mac Taylor finds Bo Kittredge. Colorado to Colorado. It's getting a bit windier here.
Wind shifting to more of a crosswind. Jay Clark on the downwind side. Inselman finds Tunnell. Swanson centers the disc. High release to Tunnell. Andrew Hollingsworth. Inselman. And Inselman,
Pinpoint hammer right to Dylan Tunnell. Hits him right between, I guess there's no numbers, so you can't hit him between the numbers, but hits him right in the chest. Chain calls their first timeout.
Timeout from Chain. We're going to take a timeout here, too. We'll be back here in Santa Cruz for the Labor Day Championships. Stay tuned. Welcome back to Santa Cruz for the Labor Day Ultimate Championships.
Labor Day Club Championships.
Excuse me. Thank you, Jackson. Chain still up a break at 6-5. They went up early in this game. And Revolver, 2 breaks in a row. Chain finally scores to keep their lead. But now we have ourselves a game again.
Yep. Chain's up 6-5. Called a timeout, trying to recollect themselves. Don't want to let this game get away from them. On the line right now, we have Dahl, Erickson, Lou, Berendez, Frank Wooten, Michael Spear, and Tyler Conger.
Elliot Erickson on the line. I feel like we haven't seen him much this game.
Speedy player. Runs very strong. He's hard to knock off his line when he's running in a straight line.
And a young player, too. He's going to be a junior at Georgia. He's still 20 years old.
Flying down on the line. There's Buddy Cahill with the disc. Over to Joy. That is a great throw from Ashlyn Joy. Devin Anderson.
Out of the timeout, Revolver has a smooth offensive point.
It was a lot easier offense. Joy just puts the flick. It sits nicely for Devin Anderson to run it down.
During the timeout, we have a new feature to bring you guys. Inside the huddle, here's Chain talking about what they need to adjust.
Don't let him talk. Hey,
let's go. We are not cutting as aggressively as we were at the start of the game, or as aggressively as you can. We need to run them into the ground. They're playing slack D, and we started cutting the same way that they're playing.
Talking about cutting aggressively, not being content with clearing space, cutting assertively, creating the space, knowing where you're going when you're cutting. Revolver set to pull. On the line we have James, Casino, Chapman, Levy, Canner, Taylor, and Yo.
Yo Kawaoka.
Tanel with the disc in the middle.
Tanel being marked by Taylor, that is a great matchup. Two players that will play downfield.
Almost gets hit right in the nose. Fortunately got his hands up to D it.
Casino reaching all the way around and finding Canner.
Double happiness for Canner. Finds himself in the right place at the right time. Revolver takes the lead 7-6.
And the bookends point.
In a sumo stance.
Sam Canner in his third year on Revolver. Carleton alumni.
Canner won one national championship with Carleton.
Mm-hmm.
Also played in finals.
2009 was the year that Carleton won.
2009 they won.
And then
they
in
lost
the
in the finals.
in 2010 with Florida.
Lost to Florida in the finals in 2010.
And that would have been his senior year.
It would have been his fourth year on Carleton, and as is history with Carleton, nobody plays 5 years there.
He took a fifth year at Cal, but was injured most of his year. Didn't get to play much, but it got his foot in the door to get part of this Revolver team. And so he got the championship in 2010 with Revolver.
And 2011. Also a world championship. 2012. Inselman takes down the pull. Centers over to Swanson. Pit called. Looks like that's Ashlyn Joy with the pit call. Joy marking Dylan Tanel.
Tanel with the disc up to Poole. Poole on the sideline, centers to Swanson. All the way around to Clark. Breaks it to Tanel, and Tanel, two receivers. Adam Simon getting the D.
Inselman looked like he had position on that. He thought the disc was going to come back and float. However, the wind kind of knocked it down, allowing a lane for Adam Simon and Russell Wynn to go in there and D that disc. And Ashlyn Joy rips the backhand to Zach Travis. Nearly an incredible bid. Gonna see that one more time.
Zach Travis unable to reel it in. That would have been a break to take Revolver into halftime. Those are one of those plays when you look back on it, especially if Chain is able to put this in, that's what you're gonna look back on and really regret that it wasn't an easier score.
If you can touch it, you can catch it. High degree of difficulty on that catch. However, if you ask Travis, I'm sure he'll think he should have had that one. Inselman up to Dahl, back to Inselman. Up to Poole. Inselman's been playing very confidently in this game. Not hesitating much as he swings it across to Jay Clark.
Wilson on the sideline, and he puts it up to Dylan Tennell. Dylan Tennell bodies out Ashlyn Joy, unable to get a hand on it. It looks like Dylan Tennell had turned to start his undercut when Asa Wilson had released that disc.
Just puts his arm out there trying to hold Joy back. Can't make the play. That's two plays this point that we've seen someone laying out in the end zone with an opportunity to score. Both of them were unable to catch it. Now Simon runs it to the line as he's being delayed.
Revolver with a chance to break into half again. Casino on the sideline. Up to Joy, and Joy, Kittredge is there, and no one is gonna catch up to Bo Kittredge.
That is the fastest man in Ultimate right there. There is no one that is gonna run that down.
Kittredge looked like he came from behind the pack, gets in front of everyone. And with that
D from Adam Simon. And then Joy puts it up to Zach Travis. Travis unable to grab it. Wilson to Tennell. Tennell bodies, bounces off his hand, and then Joy with his second huck of the point to Kittredge. Kittredge just faster than everybody else on that one.
Revolver starting the game off slow, takes the half 8-6. We'll see what kind of adjustments Chain is able to make in the second half. But we are gonna take our halftime break. Be sure to come back here to see the conclusion here in Santa Cruz for the Labor Day Championships. Hello and welcome back to Santa Cruz. Short halftime break for Chain and Revolver. Revolver starting this game on defense, starting the half on defense, excuse me, up 8-6. They go up a break in the first half after being down 4 breaks. And what a game we have going on so far. Adam Simon's pull, sailing from out of bounds, lands just inside the end zone. And here we have Chain going on offense. Great bid from Bayless. There we see Russell Inselman going back to Chain's bread and butter, the huck, and unable to find Dylan Tennell.
Looks like we have Bayless down with an injury.
So the injury call from Bayless means the disc is going to come back to Inselman. And Jonathan Levy comes in on the injury. Tom James marking Jared Inselman in the middle of the field. And Levy immediately making an impact, poaching off his defender.
Heads up play there from Levy.
And Leahy trying to find Nick Chapman. But too much chain and too little sideline. As that disc sails out of bounds with a lot of pressure.
Just inches over Chapman's hand.
Chain with another chance to score coming into half. We're talking about momentum early in this game. The Revolver seems to have got it back. That would have been a big momentum switch to start the half with a break.
Swanson swings it all the way across the field to Simpson. Back to Swanson. Going back in their end zone. Running out of real estate back there. Inselman with a Blady forehand to Tennell. Gets it down the sideline.
Asa Wilson watching that one, waiting till it crosses the line, and it almost doesn't work out for him. And the halftime.
Wilson almost let that one go away.
In halftime, we got to go inside the Revolver huddle to hear Coach Alex Geschweier talk about stopping the deep game from Chain.
The pull, a little tighter on the mark, a little tougher on defense, right, and a little sharper up with our cuts. Let's close it out now.
Find your way through Namba Station at rush hour! Let's go!
We're halfway there.
Punch your card! Punch your card on 3. 1, 2, 3. Punch your card!
Sounded like they were talking about tightening it up. A little tighter on the marks, a little tighter on their cuts, just a little bit more precise to close this game out. Chain gets that first point out of half, scoring an 0 point. Now on the line for Chain, we have Conger, Robert Runner, Nicky Spiva, Jolian Dahl, Byron Liu, David Berendez, and Matt Bailey. Then for Revolver, we have Anderson, Kittredge, Joy, Cahill, Rasmussen, Schlag, and Jeffries.
Schlag centers to Rasmussen, to Cahill. Already a call on the field. A pick called. And Jeffries getting his flick going. Finds Ashlyn Joy upfield. And Joy, quick pass to Devin Anderson.
Ashlyn Joy has been all over the place, making throws, deep cuts. Really been solid for Revolver this game. There, he's wide open deep. Breaks around to Anderson. He's really transitioning well from the D-line last year over to offense. Able to show off more of his skills on offense as they're featured more while playing an offensive line. On the line for Chain, We have Wilson, Swanson, Tennell, Inselman, Frank Wooten, Andrew Hollingsworth, and Mark Poole.
Two Colorado players on that D-line with Mac Taylor and Adam Simon. We also see Zach Travis, Russell Wynn, Taylor Casino, Sam Canner, and Jonathan Levy.
Pull from Adam Chicken Simon. Swanson's flick behind Hollingsworth. Chain turns. Now here's Revolver looking to get another break. Excuse me. Get a break. First break of the second half for them if they convert. Taylor around to win. Revolver seems to be on a roll here.
We are showing you the game of Revolver and Chain, but there's still plenty of action going around the tournament. In the first round, we had Furious George taking on Boost Mobile. Furious getting the better half of that game. Another matchup we hadn't talked about yet was Double Wide versus Madison. That game was nice and tight until the end. Double Wide took the game. And going on right now, we have Chicago and Ring of Fire in their first games of the day. I checked in at 6-6. Not sure what the score was into half. Rhino and Madison Club going on behind us. That game was also tight early in the field. And with a shortened halftime, wasn't able to get around to check the rest of the scores.
Can we get a shot of Pat Bayless right now? Hiking those shorts up. Almost looks like he's wearing a diaper out there or something. On the line for Revolver, we have Yo, Taylor, Chapman, Bayless, Canner, James, and Leahy.
Snell going deep. Jay Clark is there. Able to get it over Bayless.
Goes up with two hands and this time catches it.
And Kawaoka calling the travel. Jay Clark was off and running when that disc was released. Difficult travel call. As on the backhand throw, you can take that step with their front foot. It's whether he picked up his back foot. On the replay, it looks like it might have come up before the disc was released, so it's going to go back to Clark, whether we have anything to say about it or not. And Clark breaks around immediately, finds Asa Wilson.
Chain not wasting any time. Hucks it right away to Jay Clark. Clark backhand with the travel call and then finds Asa Wilson. On the line right now for Chain, we have Frank Wooten, Michael Aronson, Michael Spear, Elliot Erickson, Tyler Conger, Russell Snow, and Julian Dahl.
Revolver offensive line looking like the line that started the game. Rasmussen, Jeffries, Schlag, Cahill, Joy, Kittredge. Oh, excuse me. Anderson, Kittredge, and Joy.
Schlag to Rasmussen. Chain coming out in a zone look. Trying to slow down Revolver's offense. Hammer over the top from Cahill.
Travel called on Cahill. Disc is going to go back. Cahill being marked by Michael Aronson. This zone doing a good job containing Revolver's upfield looks. As they break it to Kittredge, it looks like a transition into man. Anderson with the disc, dumps it back off to Kittredge.
Revolver finally found some holes. Up to Joy. Joy to Anderson. Joy with another assist.
Getting it up line, Devin Anderson. Breaking easily to the live side. Revolver up 11-8. After being down 3-2? They were down 2 in this game.
Revolver was down 5-3 at one point. Now they've gone on a 8-3 run. Scores from other games. Right now, Double Wide is beating Southpaw 10-4. Johnny Bravo up on Mad Cow 10-7.
Johnny Bravo is a team I'm really excited to watch later today. We're going to be doing Johnny Bravo versus Sockeye. Bravo is undefeated so far this year, but they have also not had a tournament outside of their home state. We'll see how that shapes up. Here we have Chain going downfield, and what do you know? Dylan Tennell rips it to Jay Clark just outside the end zone.
Very similar to the last offensive point from Chain. Spiva to Wilson. Wilson's second goal in a row for Chain. They trail Revolver 9-11.
Revolver seems to not have a answer for Jay Clark, as the young star on Chain, first-year player, seems to be getting open deep at will.
Making an impact. It's really difficult to do that as your first year on the team, to make a big impact, especially on the O-line. Lots of times for these elite club teams, the more experienced players, or players that have been on the team longer, will assume those offensive roles. Chain showing they have faith in the young guns.
Getting on late in the game. Chain defense needs to get a break, generate some pressure on the Revolver offense. They've been, excuse me. Wow. Chain has been throwing a zone look for most of the points. Hasn't been doing a great job. slowing down the Revolver offense. Oh boy, that sun really got to me there. Just right into the microphone, but it's okay. That pull goes out of bounds. Cassidy Rasmussen is going to center it. Jackson, help me out here.
All right, and we're back. Rasmussen with the backhand to Joy. Joy again hucking it deep to Anderson. Anderson holds his position. Lou went up early, a little too early. Joy, that's his 3rd assist in a row, I believe.
Ah, boy, all right.
Topher, you all right?
Feeling better.
Need to sneeze again at all?
I think we'll be good. I think that was my first sneeze on the entire broadcast. I've had a few coughs, but nothing that bad. Oh, boy. The most unprofessional professional organization you are going to find here in the ultimate world.
You know everyone at home is laughing at that,
We
though.
are loving
Hopefully
it.
we're providing some form
We
of entertainment for you guys.
Loving it. At least the game's good, you know.
Yeah, Revolver's up 12-9 on Chain. All right. We have Chain's offensive. Oh, looks like we're on Revolver's offensive line or defensive line. Taylor Casino set to pull. Taylor Leahy, Nick Chapman, Sam Canner, Mac Taylor, Tom James, and Pat Bayless. For Chain's offensive line, there's Mark Poole, Jared Inselman, Dylan Tennell, Greg Swanson, Jay Clark, Asa Wilson, and Russell Snow. Inselman takes it down. Finds Swanson. Swanson puts it deep right away. Chapman sticks his hand up over the side stack and gets a D. Casino with a disc on the sidelines.
Casino just outside his goal line. Up to Taylor. And Taylor, inside out flick break. Finds Sam Canner.
Revolver starting to run away with this game. They're up 13-9. 2 breaks in a row.
The huck from Greg Swanson. Right at head height.
How do you stop that throw from Mac Taylor? 6'3", steps out there. If he pivots to the other side, you have to commit to try to take it away.
When you have those tall players who know how to use their length, it's nearly impossible to stop it. I mean,
very effective. Mac Taylor definitely helping out his Revolver team. He was sorely missed at ECC and at the Next Gen game. Making an impact here today. D-line for Revolver. From left to right, we have Wynn, Levy, Canner, Kittredge, Casino, Travis, and Yo.
Kawaoka.
Kawaoka. Win with a big outside in pull right in the back corner. Runner to Conger. Another low huck. Canner floats it to Zach Travis. Revolver is rolling. They're up 14-9. Last 2 points for Chain. Low hucks, can't get it over the stack. Revolver capitalizing on those turns. Now we have a timeout here from Chain.
Timeout from Chain, and we're going to take a timeout too. Be back in a second.
Welcome back here to Santa Cruz, California. Out of a timeout, Revolver leads Chain 14-9, looking to end this game. They were down early, down 5-3 at one point. Now they've gone on a 9-5 run.
In the first round, in the close game that Revolver had against Southpaw, I think there were some questions of whether Revolver was the team that everyone remembered, and here in the second half of this game, they've really tightened it up and shown that they are just as powerful as we expected them to be.
There's Tennell ripping around to Julian Dahl. Nice to see Chain get up to double digits in points. Still early in this tournament. Only the second game of the day for both of these teams. Chain still has a few things to work out.
At the Labor Day tournament, the top 2 finishers from each pool is going to move on to semifinals. Certainly Chain with a loss here won't completely knock them out of the race. They'll be 1-1 on the day.
Simpson firing up Dahl, slapping him in the face.
Some players respond to different things, you know?
It's true. Some people need to yell and be all loud. Some people need to be hit in the face. Some people like to be really quiet right before games. Really focus in on their mental game. Here on the D-line for Chain, we have Lou, Simpson, Dahl, Berendez, Bailey, Hollingsworth, and Will Lockey. Haven't really seen him play much. He was a huge receiver for the Wisconsin Hodags when they won their back-to-back national championships, 2007 and 2008.
His first year on Chain was 2009.
Year they won the UPA club championships. That pull sails just out of bounds. Pull from Dahl. Ashlyn Joy. Walks it to the line.
Joy has been having a great game today.
Just a stat machine. He's marked by Simpson.
We see kind of Cassidy Rasmussen isolated on the sideline, but that disc catches the wind, flies right over his head. A miscue we haven't seen from Revolver in the second half.
Julian Dahl rips the backhand on a line to Byron Liu. Shane gets a break. Maybe those slaps in the face help fire him up. He threw that just perfectly. Inside out backhand, hits him right in stride, just inside the line. Marked by Devin Anderson. Anderson, known for making big plays on the disc. Unable to get the D.
And here we go, back into the huddle. Let's hear what Chain had to say in that timeout.
Let's get a break, and then get another. Hey,
Come on!
Let's go!
Yeah, baby.
Come on, yeah, fellas.
1, 2, 3, Chain!
Come on.
Jason Simpson laying it down as simply as he can. Let's get a break and let's get another break.
Well, they did step one, working on step two. Simpson, a veteran on this team, he's been playing for 14 years. So you know when he's speaking in the huddle, it means something serious. His team responds there and gets a break. Frank Wooten with the pull for Chain. Cahill to Kittredge. Kittredge leads Rasmussen up line. We've got bodies on the floor. That must be a pit call. Looks like Nikki Spiva head-on collision with Rasmussen. Anderson throws a perfect flat flick. Robbie Cahill tracks it down. Revolver takes the win 15-11.
That disc snuck right past some Chain arms. And everyone looks kind of surprised that the goal happened. Chain looking a little dejected on the field. Revolver feeling good about the work that they were able to do.
You got to be happy if you're Revolver to get that win. Very dangerous team in Chain. However, it is pool play, so you know Chain, they did play in the finals of this tournament last year. They know that one loss in pool play does not mean they're done from the tournament. Revolver pushes their lead to 2-0.
Well, that wraps up our first game of broadcast from the Labor Day Ultimate Championships. We'd like to thank our videographers, Aki Odera and Brian Bedord, director and replay operator, Vin Bowie and Kimber Coles back there, and of course executive producer, Kevin Minderhout. As for myself, I'm Topher Davis.
I'm Jackson Kelsey.
Be sure to catch us when we cover Sockeye and Johnny Bravo at 11?
I think it's 1:15.
1:15.
1:15.
Perfect.
We'll be back.